Hello, welcome to Nezo's Bad Shop. I am your host, Nezo, back first real video like this in 2023. Start the year off with a just rolled in the shop featurette here. And you can see there's a box and there's some cars and a couple other cars there that just rolled into the shop from the last track session. Excuse me, the car you're looking at first is my boss's car, the owner of Strictly Sideways. It's back, but there's nothing failed or wrong with it this time. We're going to take the lid off. But yes, nothing wrong with it. It's very nice, very sweaty, and is a red version MC1 now, except for the gearbox. You see in there? See how there's red, but then there's black gearbox housing? See that? It's not red. Yeah, it's right here. He didn't feel like doing that part. He did all the rest of the parts, but he just wanted to drive more when he did it. I said, did you ever do that yet? And he said he didn't, so I said, give it to me, I'll finish it. And yeah, then the black parts from here are going into another kit. There was some parts swappery around when we had some shortage of parts. So we're basically recreating another kit, and we'll probably put that up for a special deal. But yes, that's the first thing, put the last red parts on the boss's red car. And that'll be pretty straightforward. Nothing else wrong with it unless I discover something's loose or something like that. So that job's pretty straightforward, and the boss's car runs really good. And the second car then will be this car that just rolled into the shop. Now this one doesn't really have anything in it. This one is owned by my Bad Shop teammate, Kieran. Let me put the body upside down, alright. Yeah, so this is an old Sakura D4. It's missing the upper deck. I think we've done this on purpose for extra weeble wobblery. This I think was a touring car for a little while, just something to boot around or whatever. But the only significant reason it's in here is just to make sure we can turn it into an old cheap budget class drifter and something for his cousins to play with. So yes, Mr. Hoopty, we're gonna get this going sooner than later. He's got electronic bits to put in it, but basically we'll just make sure it can drift a little bit and go from there. I gotta check out that belt tensioner, pretty sweaty. But yeah, so that one's also sort of straightforward, but not really like a priority, but we're gonna get it going soonish. Yeah, check out the hoopty rim. Nice. And so, other than that, yeah, there's two more cars. And the third car features that box. It's this one, which is owned by our buddy Keith. And there's some pieces all over this car. I'm going to put these over here. And, well, it was quite a day for Keith last track session, last Saturday. This is, I'll tell you about that. That is to change shock oil. There's a lot of parts that say Reeve D on them. And then most of them are for the front end. Because that box is going to, all the bits in that box, the old Reeve DMC1 conversion, going to end up inside of here. If I put the body away. This car is was an SX1 level car. Yeah, original bulkhead. And then had a bendy wendy plate installed. And then after a while, after a little bit of driving, we noticed the car was a little bit sluggish. Couldn't figure out why. We were changing stuff. And then out of nowhere on Saturday, we heard a mechanical pop. And that mechanical pop was the motor. I don't have the other bits of the motor, but it was a Yokomo DX1, non-titanium rotor shaft, but as you can see, the stator disintegrated itself. Yeah, there's not much left of it there. It's all right there. And bits of the magnet, the coils and stuff are damaged in that process of grenadery. Look at it, see? You can see it in there. The wires have come apart a little bit. Yeah, so we heard that mechanical pop, the motor went, and it's in a million pieces. And so we thought it was just the motor, and I'm not sure whether it was just old age or something spiked or not. The pinion we had on it was like a little bit bigger, but only I think a 26 tooth. It wasn't absurd. So, and the car ran fine for a while until this happened, but put new motor in it. We put what did we put? Yeah, red version DX1, and so I got it all soldered up. Well, it's unsoldered right now, but I soldered it all up, turned the ESC back on, and nothing at the motor. Oops, there's nothing at the motor because the ESC's light, the LED light in there, was blinking. 2 or 3, whatever. It was blinking, and I feared it had gone into a failsafe, so hooked up the old Wi-Fi module, which Keith actually has his Wi-Fi module. But we hooked up the Wi-Fi module and put it on the live telemetry, and it told me the motor from cold start was 135 degrees Celsius, which is not good, or 130 Fahrenheit, 5 what a Fahrenheit, whichever one it said. Either way, it was basically telling us the motor was over-temping the moment you turned it on, and that's usually a sign of the ESC failing. So I'm not sure if the ESC failed, or the ESC shorted, or the motor blew up and shorted the ESC. Either or, they took each other out, which is not cool. This thing still turns on and talks to the Wi-Fi, and I can dump setup data to it, but it's complaining about the sensor side, saying the motor's too hot. So that's done as well. So we're gonna get another ESC in. The motor's already in, but then that's when Keith decided, yeah, I'm gonna do the MC1. Might as well. So it's gonna be in a whole new car. So that's gonna be a whole new conversion. Shocks are gonna get rehit with 50 weight oil. They got all the 6-hole piston stuff in there, all the goodness. Yeah, and then some of this Reeve D stuff is going on to replace some of the hardware up here, and then the rear end will be done later, stuff like that. Yeah, and the reason why this is off, the spare gear and the spare gear holder, is because when the motor grenaded, the shaft sort of started wobbling everywhere, I think right in the moment it went, and yeah, it actually bent the spur gear and the holder. So when we spun it on the transmission, we could see it wobbling a little bit. It was no longer straight, let's put it that way. So when we bolted a new spur gear and a new holder on, it was completely straight. So yeah, that also got damaged in the process. So other than that, yeah, that's going to be pretty much a whole rebuild, and life is going to be good for Keith. He's going to have a whole new car. So that's a third car. Let me put you back up there. Yeah, and other than that, there is one more car. Recognize this car? Familiar, eh? This is Joe's car. And Joe did some things. Well, we're about to do some things. I take the body off. It's a Reeve DMC1, sweaty. Already red edition. Ooh, look, the transmission's already red too, right? Right? That's these parts we're going to install on Boss Man's car. And, yeah, nice red motor we put in there recently on Saturday as well. Reeve red servo, red sweaty. That's not the sweat part, but... oh, look, Revox gyro. What is sweaty is these things. These things that are going on the car. Or, well, so much on the car, but inside the car. You see this? HRC. These guys make what is called the NERD damper spec. Or damper set, sorry. See it there? Nerd damper. Adjustable external retainers. So through there is an extendo shock shaft with a little thing, and you can adjust, finely adjust the shock damper. I believe the piston and the retainer as well, all in one type deal. Allows for fine adjustment, and I like the box. You have been expecting me, open me. Well, we kind of did at the track, and I'm only gonna briefly open the box really quickly because ooh, you get this thing, and then if I unscrew this really quickly, oh, there it is. Ah, that's all you get. You have to, hello, you have to gut your entire shock setup. So these are for the big bores. You gut those and rebuild them entirely, and it makes coolness, sweatiness. So I didn't really want to show them off too big here, or like, you know, heavy unboxing. But yeah, that's what kind of sweat is going on in this car. And then we're gonna have to drive it and fine tune it. So that's gonna be very, very cool, very, very nice. Well, that's what's happening on the shop this week until the next track session. Yeah, that's the only thing that's going on that car. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Lots to do. And oh, I forgot. Right, this is the oil that it came with. This is 30 weight, I believe. Yeah, so cool red oil that goes in it. I believe it's mineral oil. Doesn't actually say in here, but I believe it is. I'll research for the unboxing video because I'm going to do an unbox and explain this a little more. But that's that. And yeah, that's what just rolled in the shop. So I'm going to get it going, and stay tuned for more of that. And updates on other stuff. Like we'll probably do a running video of the nerd dampers as well on this car. So yes, many things to do and stuff to get going. And yes, see you soon. And talk to you soon, and like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Big things in 2023. And yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go do stuff. Bye!